Hello. Thank you, firstly, for all being here. I know there's a lot of great sessions going on down the corridor, so grateful for you joining us. By way of introduction, my name is Amir Hanjani. I look after the GfK account, been with Domo for just under 2 years. I won't take the thunder from the guys that we're going to go through what we've the journey and what we've started and been on. But there's a couple of things that really stuck out for me. If you're not aware of GfK, GfK are the 4th largest market research firm in the globe. 10,000 employees, 100 locations, and running over 20 million surveys a year. So safe to say data is a big thing for them. We embarked on a journey about a year and a half ago. And what was interesting for us at the time was GfK was starting on a transformative journey where trying to compete with the competitors in their space, so the Nielsen's, the Kantars, the Ipsos's, but in a unique way in terms of a digital transformation and changing the way that they were servicing their clients. We had a very successful engagement to start with, and I guess, again, I'll let the guys talk about that, but the key things that we took away from our engagement and where we are today was the way that we service them was different in the way that we usually service our clients, in that we typically provide Domo as a one-to-one solution, whereas with GfK it was a one-to-many solution, i.e. we were giving them a platform to build their products to service their clients, and that's a really unique USP for us. The other factor was around their needs and their demands and the way they were pushing our platform to its limits, and it was a real testament to the power of the platform in the sense that we could really adopt the platform to their needs and make those changes. And I guess the final and what I really think is our biggest USP is our ability to have multiple distribution models. They'll talk a little bit about that, but it's the publish model where they're able to give a full instance of Domo to their end clients to get that value. So everything that we talk about to our end clients around running your business on your phone, bringing your data sources, and all the and everything that's great about the platform, they're essentially reselling that onto their clients. I won't introduce themselves, I'll let them take that on themselves, but thank you for joining us again.
Thanks. Hi there, thank you. So I'm Sean Regan, and I just need to clear one thing up before we start. I'm not trying to put on this husky, sexy British voice. I've got a bit of a cold, and I'm hoping I can get through this next 45 minutes without sounding like Minnie Mouse at some point. But the good thing for you guys is I'm going to top and tail this presentation, and Larissa here is going to do the nice, really interesting piece in the middle, and she sounds so much nicer than I do anyway. But please excuse me if I take a drink now and again. So as Amir, we're looking to just take you through really our journey on one of our products on the Domo platform, and explain what we've done and how things have worked and where we're going with that. So I'll start at the beginning and give you some background and some context for the later stuff. So as Amir said, GfK, we've been doing this for 80 years now, so collecting data from different industries and angles. And this one is on the consumer insights area. So this is consumer journeys, consumer landscapes, and consumer trends. And we've collected that data from traditional sources, so direct surveys, sample sources, and sometimes from client lists. And we've collected that through the traditional type of methods, so face-to-face, and then telephone, and web, and mobile. And we've collected all this data together. Once you collect that data, it then needs to be reported and presented out. And for my sins, I've been in this industry now for 30 years. I started when I was 10, as you can probably guess. But I've been here for quite some time. And one of my first jobs was in the programming space. And so we'd get this data, and the first thing that we used to do, or the process to get it out, was we'd produce, and we have produced, pages and pages of reports. So paper tables and paper reports. That's how we distributed information out to our clients. And then we moved on to acetates and the overhead projectors, for anyone old enough to remember those. And so we produced acetates, and they would go out to clients, and they'd be presented that way. Then we moved into the fantastic world of PowerPoint, and I was going to say we've done gigabytes and gigabytes, but it's going to be terabytes and terabytes of PowerPoint. So that was the vehicle to then distribute this information out to our clients. And that kind of was the industry gold standard, really, for giving information back out from the information that we collected. But then in the last decade or so, we've had this disruption. The digitalisation has come in, not just in market research, but in many other areas. And that changed everything, kind of the norms for us and the standards and what we were delivering and producing. And it changed the world. And unfortunately, on that right-hand side of the slide, we were behind the curve a bit. We'd missed the ball a bit. And so we were kind of losing some revenue and things weren't working as they should have been working. So we had to make a change and do something different. And the biggest effect that we kind of saw before those changes was on this value proposition triangle, which has kind of underpinned what we've done as a company and how we've worked for many of those 80 years. So as you can see, it's the speed, it's the value, and it's the quality of what we do. And what we were seeing is that we were lacking, basically, in two of these areas now, after this digitalisation kind of space, which was speed. We were just not quick enough to market, and we weren't returning results quick enough, and the value. So the actual value that we're giving to our clients wasn't quite good enough. And then the third piece to complicate this as well, along that kind of path, was that our traditional competitors were changing as well in this space. So all of a sudden we had startups being much more agile, and we had suppliers and even competitors coming in, eating some of our pie as well, and taking some of our lunch away. But the one thing we knew we still had was this quality of data. I mean, if any of you know about GfK, we're very strong on quality. It's the key principle that we build all of our stuff on. And we also knew that we had all the processes behind this data. And our competitors didn't always have that. So we still had this competitive advantage to go forward into the marketplace, but only if we could get there quicker, and only really if we could find partners and technology partners to actually embrace with us and go forward in this kind of new way of working and thinking along the digital product kind of side. So we needed a different strategy to drive our future, and the plan was relatively simple. We were still the industry leaders in collecting this data, and we kind of focused on some of our core markets, which is the tech and durable space. And we did that for a couple of reasons. One, we've been very strong in that market on the survey data collection space. But then secondly, we also have, we kind of focused on the purchase data. So we collect the purchase data and where that data was purchased. And we have both of those angles. And we wanted to leverage new technologies to kind of bring all of that together and to really kind of piece together for our clients the what, the where, the who, and the why. Those kind of components had been done separately in the past for us. So we're not really joining those things together. But we could do that going forward. I think the mouse is starting to appear. Excuse me for a second. So we saw three kind of key areas that we had to work on to get this done. And the first one was new data sources. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we were traditionally collecting survey data, but we needed new and different data sources to come into that space to enhance what we were offering. The second piece was all around automation. We had to just automate the hell out of this to get it working. We needed an end-to-end system, and we needed something where we could remove as much as possible the human intervention side, but obviously still keeping our quality in place because that was key. And then finally, and the last point, was we needed the platform to actually do this and a partner to help us piece all this together. And really that partner had to have a platform, they had to be able to merge all of these data streams together, they had to help us kind of piece that piece all in one place, and then have a kind of leading edge platform to give back out to our clients to show them that we're changing and this is the way we're going to move in future. And by doing that, we're also hoping to kind of kill the death by PowerPoint, which we've been running for many, many years now. With that, I think I hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Yep, everyone can hear me. Great, fantastic. So Domo then provided GfK with a fantastic platform from which we could deliver insights to our clients in a much more scalable, efficient, and speedy manner. And to achieve this, we were able to benefit from a number of the processes and tools that exist in Domo. However, I think it's also fair to say that the way that we were going to use Domo is not the standard Domo model. Now, unlike the majority of other Domo clients, in our model, GfK isn't the end user. Instead, we use Domo as a way to package and deliver our insights to clients, and then they subsequently become the end users of the platform. Now, you can start to get a sense of the complexity of our model by looking at the diagram on the slide here. Now, what you can see here is that we have a number of different user groups working within our single Domo universe. So along the bottom here, we have our GfK data and technology and our GfK operations teams. Now, they work directly with our product managers to develop and create our new solutions in Domo. The product managers then roll out these solutions to our regional teams who use the platforms internally. And then the regional teams are then responsible for delivering our new solutions to our clients and servicing our clients locally, who are the ultimate end users of our platform. So you can see here then that not only do we deal with one client, but we deal with multiple different clients. And not only do we need to be able to deliver our insights to those clients, but we also need to be able to test the data. We need to be able to review it internally. We need to be able to develop new content and new product features, all within that one Domo universe. Now, because of our complex use case, one of our biggest challenges of working within Domo was to build a distribution model that would allow us to efficiently administer this large Domo ecosystem and to deliver Domo to our clients at scale. So to achieve this distribution model, we had to work very closely with Domo. And in particular, we focused on 4 key areas. So firstly, we had to decide on what was the mechanism that we would use to deliver our insights and to deliver our dashboards to our clients. Now, to begin with, we started using publication groups to develop our dashboards. And indeed, we did actually launch the first iteration of our new Domo solution using that version of the platform. Now, the advantages of using publication groups is that it's quick to set up, it's easy to update and to distribute. But with publication groups, it meant that we would only be able to give our clients a read-only view of the platform. And it limited the Domo features that we would be able to offer. So with that in mind, we actually ended up moving away from publication groups and using Domo Publish as a mechanism to deliver our dashboards. Now, unlike publication groups, Domo Publish allows us to isolate clients by creating individual subscriber instances. And ultimately, that meant that we could open up the whole Domo platform and deliver the full Domo experience to our clients. So, for example, it meant that we were able to open up all of Domo's social features, such as Buzz. It meant that we were able to offer features such as setting up alerts and setting up favorites. And it also gives us the option to open up all of Domo's content creation features as well. Now, another big advantage of Domo Publish is that it allows us to tailor our products to our clients' needs, and therefore providing a much more bespoke service. And also in the future, it provides the potential for us to integrate our clients' own content into our products, again, creating that much more bespoke service. So, although we started off by using publication groups as our delivery mechanism, actually in the end we moved to Domo Publish because this was a much better fit for our use case. Okay, so in order to build our distribution model then, our second area of focus was around administration. Now, unlike other Domo clients that will just be using one instance, in the future, GfK hopes to have 50 to 100 different subscriber instances for different clients across multiple GfK solutions. And each of those instances will have its own requirements. It will need to be updated with its different data sets at different times, all depending on a client's individual subscriptions. And therefore, within Domo, we need tools that allow us to efficiently administer all of those different instances. Now, again, to do this, we've been able to use some of Domo's existing tools and to utilize those. So, for example, we've been able to use the Domo Publish API and the Domo User API, and Sean will be able to provide much more technical information on exactly how we use those. But as well as using those existing tools, we also need to be able to expand on those to make it much easier to administer all those different instances. So, for example, at the moment, we can use Domo Stats to provide us with a profile of how our users are using individual instances. But in the future, we actually want to be able to collate all of that information and provide a summary of usage across all of our instances. And that then means that we'll be able to get a much better understanding of how clients are using our products as a whole. And then, of course, that information then feeds into our product backlog and into our product development. And developing those kind of tools, that's something that we're continuing to work on with Domo to make that administration much easier. Okay, so then our third area of focus was around commercial delivery. Now, we essentially had two key challenges here, because not only did we have to successfully roll out Domo within GfK's own internal organization, but we also had to be able to sell it, and then we had to be able to successfully roll it out within our clients' organizations as well. Now, to assist in rolling out Domo within GfK's organization, what we did is that we assigned champions in each of our regional teams, and those champions were trained up to become experts in our new Domo solutions and in how to use the platform at a user level. Then these champions were then responsible for supporting our sales teams in selling our new Domo solutions and then in supporting our clients locally. To assist in our sales efforts, we ran global sales training with all of our sales colleagues across the world on how to sell our new Domo solutions. And we also created dedicated demo instances. Now, these contained a restricted view of our new Domo products, and therefore the sales teams would be able to use those freely in client meetings and pitches and presentations. And as well as creating those demo instances, we also created a trial instance for our products. Now, this basically gave our clients the opportunity to sign up for a week-long trial to, again, a restricted view of our products. And it was kind of like we positioned it as a try before you buy type scheme. And the hope is that our clients, they can do a trial of our products, they'll get a taste for it, and then they'll go on and buy an annual subscription. Then, in regards to rolling out our solutions internally within our clients' organizations, we created training material that sits on the Domo platform. And also, once clients subscribe, we go into their offices, we do face-to-face training sessions, and not only do we take them through our insights, but we also take them through how to use the Domo platform and how to get the best out of all the tools that Domo offers. Now, one thing that we're actually trialing at the moment is communicating with our clients directly through the Domo platform. So we could send our clients updates and messages through the Buzz interface. So, for example, each time we load a new wave of data onto the dashboard, we could send our clients a message and say, hey, have you seen this new bit of key insight or this new trend in the data? And then it starts that discussion with our clients about the data and about our insights. And by communicating with our clients in that way, it will hopefully encourage them to be using our Domo solutions and using the Domo platform on a regular basis. Okay, then our final area of focus then was around relationship management. And because of our unique use case, we had to work very closely with Domo in order to make that a success. And therefore, to do that, we worked very closely with our Domo Client Solution Manager, who was able to facilitate support from multiple teams within Domo. So from a commercial perspective, Domo arranged for all of the product managers to get training in not only how to use Domo, but also in the best ways of demoing Domo and actually selling the tool. And then that went and fed into our internal sales training. Then from a technical perspective, we've received support from the Domo technical consultants on numerous occasions, and very often they actually come on site and help us with specific issues. And we've also been engaged with Domo product, including the labs team, who have been able to help us with those more challenging and rare issues. Now, one of the great things about Domo is that they're constantly releasing new features, as you all would have seen this morning. And actually, sometimes it felt like they were releasing features as we were thinking about them. For example, one of the ones I was thinking about is adding page filters to the favorites page, and also just in general improving the UX of the page filters as well, because that's a key tool within our solution. And again, we worked closely with Domo's consultants to make sure that we could build those new features into our new products. Okay. So overall, GfK presented a complex use case to Domo, and it did have its challenges, but through a strong collaboration between GfK and Domo, we were able to overcome these. And as a result, in August of last year, GfK officially launched its first truly digital product called the Consumer Insights Engine. A syndicated solution delivered to our clients through a self-serve digital dashboard powered by Domo. And for the first time, the Consumer Insights Engine allows our tech and consumer durable clients to link their point of sale data to actual consumer insights, connecting the what sells and where to the who buys and why. And the Consumer Insights Engine is the first product to integrate point-of-sale data with traditional survey data, together with online behavioral data and online review data. And by integrating all of those different data sources, it means that we can fully understand consumer behaviors, both on the online and offline channels. And we can understand that across all stages of the consumer purchase journey. And gone are the days of PowerPoint, 100%, because all of those data sources and all of those insights, they're delivered to our clients through one easy-to-use Domo dashboard. So currently, the Consumer Insights Engine collects consumer purchasing behavior across 18 different tech and consumer durable categories. So that ranges from things like electronic product categories, such as laptops, mobile phones, TVs, all the way through to MDA product categories, so dishwashers, washing machines, fridge freezers. And we also cover 13 of the globe's biggest markets. Now, we take the same approach in all of these markets, and a great advantage of that is that it means that our KPIs are globally consistent and easily comparable. And again, by having all of our data on that one platform, it makes it really easy for our clients to compare their performance within different markets and different product categories. And this is only the beginning. Over the next 2 years, we plan to expand the Consumer Insights Engine. So we're looking to add more product categories, including things like digital cameras, hair care, and wearables. And we're also looking to expand in other markets as well. So additional markets in Europe, and also markets such as Turkey and Australia. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is actually show you the Consumer Insights Engine dashboard, just so you can see what it looks like, how it works, and get a sense of the type of insights that our clients can get from our new solution. So hopefully we'll be able to swap over. Okay. Fantastic, it worked. Okay, so I just want to drink water first. So this here then, this is the Consumer Insights Engine dashboard. Now, one of the first pages that our clients see when they log onto the dashboard is this overview page. Now, this is designed to give our clients a top-level view of how their brand is performing at each stage of the purchase journey for a particular product and market. Now, for our clients, by default, this infographic shows data for their brand. So we can see along the top here then that we're looking at TV sales in Germany for the second quarter of last year. And we're going to focus on a German TV manufacturer called Telefunken. Now, on the Consumer Insights engine, we divide the consumer purchase journey into 4 key stages. So first off, our first stage is around purchase triggers. And here we want to understand what are the needs that made someone think about buying a new product. And you can see here that we have KPIs which look at the influence and importance of different advertising touchpoints. Then our second stage of the purchase journey is all around search and evaluation. So when someone was thinking about buying a new product, what brands did they consider? What stores did they go in and visit? And what websites did they visit? So here you can see we have scores for brand consideration and for brand preference. Then our third stage of the purchase journey is the actual moment of purchase. So what did the consumer actually buy? What was the brand of the product? What was the retailer? What was the price point? But most importantly, why did they buy that product? And then our last section of the purchase journey is all around early usage. So once somebody has bought a brand new product, how happy were they with it? How likely are they to recommend the brand, and how likely are they to recommend the retailer? And here you can see that we have a score associated with the brand Net Promoter Score. Okay, so as I mentioned, this infographic, this is just designed to give a very top-level view. But on the dashboard, we do have a page for each section of the purchase journey, as you can see along the top here. And we also have a page which gives you all the demographic and profile information of recent purchasers. Now, all of those pages, they have a very similar design. They use standard Domo cards with predefined KPIs that are relevant for that part of the purchase journey. But the page that I want to take you through today is this brand lost shopper page. Click on that here. Okay, so let's say then that we are a manufacturer. Now, as a manufacturer, you want to know, what are my missed opportunities? Who am I losing out to, and why? And the Consumer Insights engine can help you answer those questions by looking into your lost shoppers. And we define lost shoppers as someone who considered your brand initially, but actually they went on and purchased someone else. Now, the data that we have feeding into this is our online survey data, and we collect this on a quarterly basis, and we target recent product purchases. So here then you can see that again we're focusing on TV sales in Germany from the second quarter of last year. And you can see that for that quarter we interviewed nearly 2,000 recent TV purchasers. Now, the Consumer Insights engine has a unique advantage because we're able to calibrate our survey data with GfK's point of sale data. And essentially that means that we're able to gross up our volumes that we see in our survey data to match the sales volumes that we see in POS. And that therefore means that near 2,000 interviewed respondents, that actually represents 1.4 million TV units sold in Germany in the second quarter of last year. And by being able to actually calibrate our survey data to the point of sale data, it makes the data much more actionable for our clients because it's actually able to size opportunities. Okay, so in this example then, we are going to focus on a brand. And again, we're going to choose our German TV manufacturer called Telefunken. So I can select that as an option within our standard page filters on Domo. And then I'm also going to look at a total market view as well as a comparison point. Okay, and then when we apply the page filters, that then influences all of the data on the page. So we're now looking at data for the Telefunken brand. So let's put this in full screen. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so this first chart here then, this shows a purchase funnel for the Telefunken brand. And what we can see is that out of everybody who purchased a TV in that time period, 21% considered Telefunken as a brand, 14% then went on and shortlisted it as a preferred option, but actually only 9% of TV purchasers went on and purchased a Telefunken TV. Now, from this, we can calculate the conversion from brand considerers to purchasers. And from that, we can see that 43% of those who considered the Telefunken brand did go on and purchase it. But what that does mean, though, is that over half of people who considered the brand actually went off and purchased something else. Now, because we have the ability to calibrate our survey data to GfK's point of sale data, it means that we can actually size that missed opportunity. And we therefore know that that 57%, that actually represents 174,000 lost shoppers. So 174,000 people who considered your brand, so you got them to do the hard bit, they considered you initially, but they went on and purchased someone else. Now, as a manufacturer, you want to know, how can I convert at least some of those lost shoppers into purchasers of my brand? And again, the Consumer Insights engine can help us with this. So on the engine, we can actually see what brand did those lost shoppers go and purchase instead. So here we're looking at data for our Telefunken lost shoppers, and we can see that the majority went on and purchased a TV by Samsung, followed by Grundig and Panasonic. Now, not only can we see what brand of TV they went on and purchased, but we can also see why they went and purchased a different brand. Now, this chart here, this is looking at the factors that influence somebody when they were making their final choice of product. So we see you have our different factors along the side here. It includes things like brand and product design. And we are looking at our Telefunken lost shoppers in green. So those are the people who considered Telefunken but purchased someone else. And then we have a score for the total market in blue as a comparison point. Now, there are two key things that we can take away from this chart that could help Telefunken increase their conversion. Now, the first thing that we can take away from this is that Telefunken lost shoppers, they're more price sensitive. Now, as Telefunken as a brand, that then gives me the opportunity to go away and then review my pricing and promotional calendar to make sure that's best positioned to maximize sales. And actually, GfK's OPI tool is something that could help with that. And then the second thing that we can take away from this chart is that Telefunken lost shoppers, for them, product size was a much important factor when it came to choosing their final product. Now here we're looking at TVs. So product size relates to TV screen size. So this could suggest that perhaps there's a product that's missing from the brand's portfolio. And actually what we could do on the dashboard is that we could drill down into this data further and we could see what was the size of the TV screen that Telefunken's actually missing out on. And again, this provides a second opportunity then for the Telefunken brand to go away and consider the risks and benefits of potentially launching a new product onto the market. Okay, so we can see then on the engine what brands lost shoppers purchased instead and why they purchased those. But we can also actually look and see who are these lost shoppers. Now, on the engine, we collect a wealth of demographic information. There's just a couple of slides here just to show you the type of information that we get. So here we're looking at gender, and again we have our Telefunken lost shoppers in green and the total market in blue. And what we can see here is that Telefunken lost shoppers, they're more likely to be male. We can also look at their age, and what we can see here is that Telefunken lost shoppers are more likely to be older, age 55 to 64 and 65 to 74. And we can also look at the composition of their households. So this is looking at the number of adults within a household. And again, we can see that they're more likely to live in a household of 2 adults. And we can also look to see if they have children. And again, we can see here that Telefunken lost shoppers, they're more likely not to have children at home. So what you can see is that this starts to build up a picture of actually who these lost shoppers are. And we can see that they're more likely to be male, older, living in adult households. And knowing who these people are, this is incredibly important when it comes to targeting and marketing campaigns and messaging. Okay, so what you've been able to see here then is that the Consumer Insights engine can not only tell you the size of your missed opportunities, but it can also highlight different opportunities and ways to increase conversion. Now this, what I've showed you today, this page here, this is just one example of the wealth of data that we have on the engine. And the great thing is that all of this information is available to our clients right here, right now, right at their fingertips. Okay, so right now I will hand back over to Sean. If we could swap the screens over. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great job. So just a couple of slides left. As you can see, that's the product that we built. And we built that with the help of Domo on this fantastic engine. But it wasn't just that we'd like to talk about now. It wasn't just the engine. It was actually working with Domo and the kind of partnership that we've had and still got with the guys. And the first kind of point I want to bring up is just this whole agile development. So just a quick show of hands. Who knows what agile development is? Okay, so good for you. So the opposite to agile is waterfall, which is the old-fashioned way of Larissa saying to me, I've got a great idea, Sean, here's my functional spec, go off and build it. I would take 9 months or 12 months to build something, give it back to her and she'd say, that's not what I want, that's no good. And it just takes too long and you fail doing that. And you try to build everything in one go. And again, GfK were sometimes guilty of doing that. We try to get everything done straight away and then it takes too long and it fails. With the agile methodology, you do things in sprints and you take smaller steps and you get to the market much quicker. And working with the Domo team, they've made us think about that and do that, not only from the development side, but also from the product management side. We had to sometimes prioritize what we wanted to do. And that was kind of coming through from the Domo team. And then we followed the other agile principle of proof of concepts, the MVP, the minimal viable product, MSP, the minimal sellable product, and then into production. And we kind of did that working with the Domo guys, and it was a really fruitful kind of process. The second kind of principle is this whole idea of flexibility, and that's flexibility of the platform and also of the teams, again, working together. So we kind of had to sometimes pivot in between what we were doing. As Larissa mentioned earlier on, I think we actually started off with the embed side for the dashboards and then realized that really wasn't going to work. And then we moved into publication groups and we got through to the first version. But then I had seen from my good friend Amir pushing me publish, and I'd seen just how I really thought this was going to be a real showstopper for us, a real way for us to move forward with our clients. And so I really wanted us to pivot into publish. And we had the flexibility within the teams to actually go out and do that. So we pivoted from the publication groups into the publish realm and moved onward from there. And then the last one is innovation, and innovation really as partners. So when we first started looking at Domo, we knew that we weren't their standard kind of model, this one-to-many piece, and we were going to push them, and we knew that. But there was a lot of common ground already in there, and they've worked with us fantastically well to actually innovate on what we're trying to do and to push that out and become really a partner to GfK. But they've also, as a partner, as good partners should do, they've pushed us back. They've challenged us along the way to say, is this really what you want to do? Is this really where you want to spend our money? Is this really what we want to deliver? And so they have become a real innovation partner as well along this path and journey. And so that's kind of what we've been doing now. And then just one last slide to go on to what we're doing in the future to support our products. And again, there are three kind of key elements that I'd like to go through. So the first one is just around feature development. We saw some great stuff today. We know that we still need new features on the platform. And Domo are helping us to do that, really to enhance the user experience on the platform and to make that so much better. A big example of that is the whole filtering piece. You saw some of that today. We've been pushing the guys for different filtering options because of what we need to do on this data. Because as you've seen, we've got multiple clients using multiple data streams, and we needed some more flexibility there, and we've been building on that list. And we'll continue to do that, working with the Domo team. The second one is this process development. So by that I mean, obviously there's the Domo process and the things we do on there with ETL transformations, etc. But we also have our own processes, and we're still working through which process sits best in which area, and how can we change those, how can we improve them. So we're continually reviewing that with our own teams and with the Domo guys. And then last but certainly not least is client development. So you've seen the dashboard, you've seen what we're doing. The real idea is we want to get our clients to interact with the dashboard completely. So answering their questions, delivering their results, everything coming through that Domo platform. So it really is a joint client development type process. So I think kind of very in summary, we've built the foundations for a great relationship with Domo. We've got a great platform. We've got the CI engine really as the proof. That was the first one that we pushed through. But we've got other products coming down the pipeline now, and even ad hoc work. So along the publish process, I've got this idea that we want to push ad hoc surveys and ad hoc dashboards through there as well, and to push that client user base up, and just to get everything moving through that one platform. That's it. Thank you.
Sean, Larissa, thank you so much. That was a great presentation. Guys, we've got 2 minutes left. We can open the floor for anyone that's got any questions for the guys. Sure.
Just a quick question. Did you evaluate other tools before you chose Domo, and why did you choose Domo?
We did, yes. I mean, we looked at the more traditional BI tools, Power BI, Tableau, Daprosy in the market research market. But Domo gave us some big advantages. The API piece that Larissa mentioned allowed us to kind of bring that in and connect that to other things that we're doing. So we're building another application internal to GfK that we're building ourselves, kind of like an automation on the survey collection piece. And with the APIs, we could plug all of the Domo functionality into that. So it was really open, and I didn't really see that in many other areas. And the second big one that always sticks in my mind is the connectors and the ability to bring those multiple data streams that we've shown you. So our own data and behavioral data and the point-of-sale data, that can all come into that platform. And the other competitors that I looked at couldn't really do that as easily.
What was the process that you went through to commercialize this product offering to your customers? Because it's obviously a very different model to the traditional way. How did you do that, and how did you get customers to sort of go, I've got to have this?
The Consumer Insights Engine, and indeed a lot of the syndicated solutions that GfK are building, they use our POS data as a foundation. And the reason that we're starting with that is because GfK has a monopoly on POS data for tech and consumer durables. So that's what makes us unique. So therefore, all the solutions that we're creating, they are essentially an upsell on our point of sale data. So our main target clients are our clients that subscribe to our POS data, but might not necessarily do any other research with us. So we go out to them and we say, okay, so this is what you get from GfK at the moment. This is our point of sale data. This tells you this and this. But actually now, this new solution, this fits in with your POS data, but it also tells you the who and the why and additional information. So that's how we've been positioning the Consumer Insights Engine and our other syndicated solutions to our clients.
Sarah, behind you.
How do you measure the value Domo has brought to your organization?
So my CFO will say sales. Sales of the CI engine. So as we're rolling it out, we've got multiple clients using that now. So that's a real financial kind of value. But then looking to the future, it's the other products and the ability for us to sell those to our clients, kind of upsell and cross-sell those. And the speed that we can do that. You saw at the beginning, we were just too slow in some of these areas. And with the platform and what we've done now with the team that we have, and again, working with the Domo guys, the value is this speed of turnaround that we can do. So this ad hoc piece that I mentioned, we do a lot of that, and it's an untapped space. And there's still so many people using these PowerPoint decks flying around. And I'm really keen to get all of that onto Domo, because I think that's going to push the value up massively.
And one of the big things that in the past, when we used to run studies and we used to deliver all our data in PowerPoints, what we very often find is that clients would come back to us and say, oh, could you just rerun that data point using that different filter, or rerun that using a different base? And then we'd have to send that request to our DP teams, and they'd run it, and then we'd check it and chart it up again in PowerPoint, and before you know it, a whole week's gone by. So being able to deliver all of our data to our clients through the dashboard means that actually they can do all of that analysis themselves straight away, and it's a lot more of a quicker process. So that's a real plus of delivering it through the Domo dashboard.
Time's up. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.